Westbrook is one of the most overrated players in my opinion. Overrated in terms of him being a superstar level player. In this video, I'm going to be going over why I think that. Before we get into the video, I just want to say, if you're a Westbrook fanboy and you can't listen to others' opinions without being offended, just click off the video, bro. With that said though, I'd still be happy to debate in the comments. I'm just stating my argument on why I think Westbrook is overrated, and I'd love to hear what you guys think. Now with that out the way, let's get into it. My first point is Westbrook's inconsistency. One of the most important traits you look for in a superstar is consistency. Your number one and number two guy are the players you rely on in tough situations that could decide the game. Westbrook has shown that he's not consistent enough to take that last game-winning shot. One game he'll shoot a very efficient 9 of 13, where he doesn't force anything, but then the next game he'll shoot 3 from 20, where he settles for jumpers too much, and you just can't have that from a superstar caliber player that you rely on to win you games. It's not an effort thing either, because he's done it in the regular season and in the playoffs. If anything, he's disappointed more in the playoffs after KD left, and he became the face of the franchise. Ever since KD left in the way that he did, Westbrook got a chip on his shoulder, and he's shown why that's not always a good thing. I don't know about y'all, but I personally value consistency a lot when judging a player, especially in big games. Everyone's gonna have bad games, there's no way around that, but I'd rather have a player that can give me an efficient 15, 5, and 5 on 90% of the time, over a player that gives me an efficient 30, 10, and 10, 20% of the time, who tends to disappear in big games. Some of you are probably saying, but Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double for a whole season, and multiple times at that. And you're right. Credit where credit's due, that is insane, and I don't think any player will ever match that. In terms of triple doubles and all-round numbers, Westbrook is one of the best in NBA history, but it doesn't lead to wins because of how inefficient he is. Russell Westbrook hasn't made it out of the first round of the playoffs after KD left, and he's had 3 chances. To be fair, the first season after KD left, Westbrook had no help, and he played out of his mind, averaging a 30-point triple-double with the best efficiency of his career. He won MVP and broke the triple-doubles in the season record. He balled out, I can't argue with that. After that season, Westbrook got a superstar caliber teammate in Paul George and a declining but still effective Carmelo Anthony. People were really high on this team, but chemistry issues held them back and they disappointed, losing in the first round of the playoffs to the Utah Jazz in 6 games, who were led by a rookie at the time, Donovan Mitchell. Westbrook put up big numbers, averaging 29.3 points, 12 rebounds, and 7.5 assists. But again, he was inefficient and shot only 40% from the field. But wait, it gets worse. Here is Russell Westbrook's plus-minus for each game. In Game 1, he had a plus-minus of -1. In Game 2, -5. In Game 3, -25, which was the lowest on the team for that game. Game 4, -14. Game 5, his only positive plus-minus of the series, +10. And Game 6, -1. I can understand the Thunder losing here, as PG and Melo both played trash, and it ain't all Westbrook's fault, but with Rubio and rookie Spider being his matchups, I expected Westbrook to go crazy. 40-point triple-doubles and all that. Okay, maybe not that level, but you get my point. However, I will say that Rudy Gobert is a hard counter for him. We know that Westbrook loves to get to the rim, and we know that Gobert is arguably the best rim protector in the league. The Jazz are a bad team matchup for Westbrook's playstyle. We can all forget one bad season, so we get on to the next season, 2018-2019, the season before this one. During the offseason, OKC's GM Sam Presti makes a miracle trade to get rid of Melo and his contract, clearing up a lot of cap space for the Thunder. With Melo gone, there's less chemistry issues now for the Thunder as they have one less shot creator. Oh yeah, that reminds me, why did Melo get played like that? Paul George and Westbrook underperformed during the playoff series versus the Jazz, but Melo got all the blame put on him. Poor Melo, bro. During the early period of the regular season, it was clear Paul George was OKC's number one option, and Westbrook was voluntarily taking a backseat. Westbrook changed his play style and it looked like he matured. He didn't care about the whole KD thing anymore and proving people wrong. He put it all behind him, and it looked like he wanted to win more than anything else. Paul George thrived as the number one option and was even a legit MVP candidate, finishing third in the MVP race. The regular season was the only positive of this season though. The regular season finished and the Thunder's matchup for the first round of the playoffs were the Blazers. We knew that this series was going to be good. Westbrook and Lillard had a big rivalry and both teams wanted to prove themselves. Westbrook also knew that this was the time where he needed to step up as a franchise player again. He let PG be the main offensive threat, but now he has to go all out. I was expecting big things from Westbrook, especially since his matchups for the series were Lillard and CJ, who aren't the best defenders, and the Blazers center Enes Kanter wasn't a good paint defender in the slightest. This was a perfect opportunity for Westbrook, but what happened? He simply got destroyed by Damian Lillard. The Thunder didn't put up much of a fight and the Blazers ended up winning in 5 games. Westbrook had no excuses this time. Yes, PG was playing hurt, but at least he could still play. Yusuf Nurkic, the Blazers' usual starting center, was unable to play because of injury. I wouldn't be so hard on Westbrook if the Thunder would have at least put up a fight, but they were practically swept. Instead of Westbrook using this perfect opportunity, his matchup Damian Lillard took it from him. Dame versus Westbrook has always been a back and forth argument, but after this series, you can't deny that Lillard was a better player. Westbrook's averages for the series were 22.8 points, 10.6 assists, and 8.8 rebounds. Really good numbers until you look at the efficiency. He shot 36% from the field and 32% from 3. That's a yikes. Not only that, he shot an average of 22 shots per game. That's one thing I absolutely hate about Westbrook. Like, surely after shooting 10 shots, you realize that it ain't your night. Westbrook's strength is his versatility. He can impact the game in so many ways other than scoring. Yet whenever he's missing shots, he always just shoots more, instead of changing to a more facilitating mentality. Lillard absolutely balled out though, averaging 33 points, 6 assists, 4.4 rebounds, and 2.4 steals, while shooting an efficient 46% from the field and 48% from 3. Dame was so hot that series that he shot better from 3 than he did from the field, and he was shooting around 10 threes a game. Dame was pulling up from half court like it was nothing. Westbrook didn't just get outplayed, he got disrespected, bro. And then just to top it off, Dame hit the coldest game winner in NBA history to clinch the series. Couldn't have gone any worse for Westbrook.
Lillard, a chance to send the Thunder home. Lillard, long range 3, and it's good! At the buzzer! Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me? Lillard hit a 3.
What was memed was the look into the camera.
Oh, yeah.
Next, we move to the 2019-2020 season, this current season. Westbrook gets traded to the Rockets and PG gets traded to the Clippers. OKC got a veteran point guard in CP3, a future star in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and a lot, and I emphasize a lot, of draft picks. The Thunder gave up on contending and were clearly building for the future. Now looking back on the trade, OKC won out of those trades. The Thunder, despite losing their 2 best players and not getting any superstars back, managed to still get a record of 40 and 24 before the suspension, good enough for the 5th seed in the West. And also an identical record to Westbrook's new team, the Rockets, who were underachieving. Westbrook and Harden struggled to play together as both of them are ball dominant. Later in the season, Westbrook got into the rhythm, but at the same time, Harden went into a bad slump. Harden playing worse with Westbrook and OKC overachieving after he leaves. That's not a coincidence. As soon as Westbrook leaves, players like Schroeder and Nerlens Noel break out for the Thunder. We've seen this before. Players hit a new level after they leave Westbrook's team. Oladipo and Harden became immediate stars after they left, and KD was always a superstar, but he became unstoppable after he left OKC. These players all got much better after they stopped playing with Westbrook. When PG first joined the Thunder, he struggled, and now Harden is struggling to play with Westbrook on the Rockets. Westbrook needs to change his style of play if he wants to win. After KD left, something happened to him. He felt like he needed to prove something to the world, and he still has that mentality to this day. But it hurts the team's success. If you can't consistently help your team win, you aren't a superstar. If you are consistently inefficient, you aren't a superstar. Russell Westbrook is not a superstar. That's all I have to say. Do you guys agree or do you think I'm wrong? Tell me in the comments. Thanks for watching and I'll see you all next time. Peace.